Yizzo, you already know what time it is, man. It's your boy, Grown Man Business TV. You feel what I'm saying? Now listen, man, you could tap in and you could tap out, but you know my slogan, you know what I suggest, and I suggest you tap in. So let's get right into it. Now you already know time and energy are the highest forms of currency. I know they got you out here chasing the bag, chasing that money, chasing that paper, stacking that cheese, that cheddar, and that mozzarella. But always keep it in the front of your mental Rolodex that time and energy are the highest forms of currency, my G's, at all times. Is what it is, and it'll be what it's gonna be. Big salute to all my day one investors, everybody that's highly invested in the channel, everybody that understands that we are growing this channel organically, constant elevation. Yeah, we on our way to the top, well over 50,000 subscribers, and we on our way to 60K. Even bigger salute to all my newcomers, all my new subscribers, everybody that's making their way to the Realest channel on YouTube, Grown Man Business TV. You already know, man, I carved out a lane for the real, and I'm the only one in it. You understand what I'm saying? You already know how I'm giving it up, and you absolutely know how I'm putting it down. Now, do me a favor, right? Wipe off your feet before you step into the big house. You understand me? Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Make sure your notification bells are ringing loud and clear every time you step foot in the Realest channel on YouTube, Grown Man Business TV. It is what it is, and it'll be what it's gonna be. Big salute to everybody that's in the building. You know what I mean? You already know how we do, man. We're gonna have a conversation. Now, you gotta know something, right? I'm just now getting back to the big house, and I got a lot of people in my DM. Yo, G and BTV, what's your perspective on everything that's going on with the gambling scandal out there in the NBA? I mean, what's your thought process? What you think about what's going on? You feel what I'm saying? About the gambling, the whole situation with the feds. You know, it is what it is, and it'll be what it's going to be. And I took my time, and I said, you know what? I don't even know if I really want to talk about that. I'm not big on sports. I'm not the guy that sits and gambles with sports. I'm not watching football. I'm not really into watching the basketball. It's all a scheme. It's all a play. It's all gambling. It's nasty work. None of it is real. It's not like when we was young, we used to watch the Dallas Cowboys and X, Y, and Z. I mean, this thing is all scripted. But you got to understand something. The downloads been downloading. Absolutely. The downloads is downloading. And I said it's a message in the madness when it come to this. Absolutely nasty work. So we're going to have a conversation, man. Big salute to everybody. It is what it is, and it'll be what it's going to be. But they play this game right in front of our face. And you got to be able to see through the smoke and mirrors, my G. I mean, you absolutely got to be able to see what's going on the other side of the curtain. I mean, it's a play. It's a movie. It's a matrix we living in. And this situation with the NBA is disgusting. It's absolutely nasty work. So we're going to have a conversation about this. Big salute to everybody in the chat. Listen, man, I just made it back to the big house on my way to a cruise tomorrow. You know, I'm just living life, man. But I got to tap in with the people. Chauncey Billups, the whole situation with this WNBA or the NBA or the gambling, all of this is disgusting. And before we make a move, we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it. You know what I mean? You already know how I'm giving it up. You know, I'm not going to speak like every other content creator. You know, one thing for sure and two things for certain. When it comes to Grown Man Business TV, you already know nobody connects the dots like me. Nobody connects the dots, and nobody's asking a real question. Nobody's speaking on a real situation when it comes to this. So you in the right place. I mean, if the algorithm led you to Grown Man Business TV, nothing is by coincidence. Nothing is by mistake. You are in the right place. Pure dope, straight off the brick, directly into the bottles. You in the right place. All right, now you already know, man. Before I get into the situation, before I give you this pure dope straight off the brick into the bottles, right? You already know I got to do some customizations to the chat. Yeah, I got to do some customizations to the chat, my G. The higher-ups and the elites are working overtime. They always trying to muffle the message. They always trying to shadow ban the channel. They understand that Grown Man Business TV is a threat to the establishment. Absolutely. Yeah, I'm a threat to the establishment. I don't talk like these other YouTubers. I don't give up game like these other content creators. So it is what it is, and it'll be what it's going to be. But you need to know something. The revolution will be televised right here on YouTube. Yeah. Listen, man, the revolution will be televised right here in these YouTube streets. So you in the right place, all right? So before we go any further, let me do some customizations to the chat. Well over 100 in here. We gonna have a conversation. You know, I'm a definitely come from some different angles. You know what I mean? I'm gonna leave you with with some pure dope, some pure game to leave with, I'm gonna leave you and I'm gonna ask the real questions. Let's talk about it, man. Big salute to the chat. Hit the like button and all that when you come in the building. Let me do some customizations to the chat. A big gambling situation. $1 million gambling. Man, we gonna talk about it. We gonna talk about it. It get deep, it get wicked, and it's always deeper than rap. And we are at the time in present day on American soil where we can see these plays being ran. Shit is like a Hail Mary play, my G. I mean, what did you expect? They pulling rabbits out the hat. They trying to do any and everything possible to keep us distracted. Come on, man. You know where you at. Hit the like button and all that. We not staying long. We going live again tonight. We going live again tomorrow. Before I leave out for my cruise, I'll be gone for a week. I got the internet package though. Don't worry. We'll be going live from the cruise ship as well. Let's see what we got here, man. Nasty work. Nasty work, my G. Big salute. Hit the like button and subscribe button. You in the right place. Oh, yeah, you see that right there at the bottom of the chat, right? Before you get in here with your Twitter fingers, doing all your Twittering all in the comment section, doing your Twitter with your Twitter fingers, you even your Twitter with your comments, all the Twittering and all that. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Make sure your notification bells are ringing loud and clear every time you step foot in the Realest channel on YouTube. That's Grown Man Business TV. FBA Kush Boy 420. I see you in here. Big wrenches. Big salute. Big wrenches. Yeah, we gonna have a conversation, man. Now, let's start right here, right? You got the feds. Invading the NBA $1 million gambling scheme that they got behind closed doors. I'm talking the federales. Come on, my G. That ain't the, that don't raise your antennas. That don't make you right there. Just the fact that the feds are involved. That don't make you look at it kind of weird, like what's really going on? I mean, the feds. Absolutely disgusting work. We gonna start right there. I mean, you gotta understand something, right? This is our hard-earned tax-paying dollars. You know how much taxes we pay a year to go to the feds? Billions of dollars in tax money that fund the federal government. You understand what I'm saying? And for them to be focusing on the NBA and gambling situations is absolutely nasty work. And we gonna connect the dots. Let's really talk about this, man. Hey, we could be spending that tax money somewhere where it counts. We don't need the feds watching out about gambling. We don't really care about gambling. If them people got money and they want to gamble, get out their business. Get out their business, but we gonna talk about that. Because one thing for sure, two things for certain, you gotta know something, man. It's all criminal. It's all a criminal situation. The government, they criminals, they gangsters. The feds, they criminals, they gangsters. The CIA, criminals and gangsters. That's the only reason why they care so much about illegal gambling rings. That's the only reason why they care so much, is because it's taking money out their pockets. But we gonna talk about that. Now, one thing for sure, two things for certain, I kept the receipts. Yeah, I don't go nowhere without the receipts, my G. I kept the receipts. And I ain't gonna do nothing without the receipts. I do my due diligence. Now, I'm not the biggest sports fan, like I told you. I don't watch WNBA games. I don't watch the NBA. I'm not watching LeBron James and Steph Curry. I don't watch football games on Sunday. I'm not really into that. I understand that is a circus. I understand what sports in the arena and all these different things and all these different circuses, I understand that they are used to distract us. I've been known this shit was fake. I've been could see through the smoke and mirrors when it come to football and basketball. So I'm not really into it, but it's deeper than rap. It's deep, it's wicked, and it's always deeper than rap. So it's deeper than sports. It's deeper than, LeBron James. It's deeper than Chauncey Billups. It's way deeper, and that's what we're here to talk about. Like I said, first and foremost, hey, man, we spend too much money for these federales to be paying attention to illegal gambling. That is not what we pay y'all for. We don't pay y'all for illegal gambling. But since y'all want to tap in, since y'all don't want to mind y'all business, since y'all want to use our tax-paying dollars to look at illegal gambling, let's get into that. Angle number one, the American dream. The American dream, I mean a slice of the American pie. That's all we ever wanted, was a slice of an American pie. All we ever wanted was to live the American dream. And gambling, illegal sports betting, oh, that's a huge part of the American dream, my G. That's a huge part of it. You know, illegal gambling been going on since Babe Ruth. Illegal gambling been going on since sports was invented. You understand? It's always a problem when we get involved. I don't care how you feel about race. Anytime somebody say, let's not make it a race thing, you need to cut a side eye at them. It's always about race. As long as we on American soil, it's always going to be about race. So first and foremost, illegal gambling is a part of the American culture. I mean, a huge part of the American culture was built on illegal gambling. It's only a problem when we get involved. Yeah, when black people, when my people, when we get involved in the underworkings of America, that's when it becomes a problem. That's when the feds got to get involved. Chauncey Billups, other black athletes, billions and billions of dollars of money on the table. When we get our hands and we put it in the pot and we start taking cookies out the cookie jar, now it's an issue. Now the feds is involved. But not only are we putting our hands in the cookie, see, it was all good when the mob was putting their hands in the cookie jar. It was all good when the Italians was illegal sports betting. I mean, what you think? What you think this is about? You got whole cities that been built up off the illegal sports betting and gambling and casinos. I mean, Las Vegas and all that. It wasn't no problem when the American mob was building cities off of illegal gambling. Soon as some niggas get involved, oh, now the federales and we need to shut this down and illegal enterprises and blah, blah, blah. But we going to talk about that. Let's get into one of these receipts, man. I want to just give y'all some context on what I'm talking about. Let's not fall for the smoke and mirrors. Let's not fall for the double cross. Let's pay attention to the triple cross. And we're going to get into the triple cross. We're going to talk about this. We're going to talk about what's going on. And we're going to talk about what's supposed to happen. Let's get into one of these receipts. Big salute to the chat. Is what it is. We're not staying long, but it's absolutely disgusting. Watching what they doing with all these black men. Soon as we want to get involved in this illegal gambling, it's a problem. Soon as we start selling marijuana, it's a problem. But as soon as y'all learn how to tax it, now it's all good. That dog fur is diabolical. Oh, yeah, I'm talking about the dog fur. Oh, dog fur come in all different shapes and strands, my G. It's all different types of strand of dog fur. It ain't just blonde dog fur and blue eyes. You got all different type of dog fur. And the dog fur, they hate when we get involved. They hate the fact that they can't stop us, regardless, legal or illegally. We gonna put our hands in the cookie jar. We gonna get some of those cookies out that cookie jar. Chauncey Billups. We gonna talk. Let's get into this receipt. Big salute to the chat. Just got back in the big house. Y'all want me to elaborate on this? Well, let's elaborate. Let's get into one of these receipts. Big salute to the chat. Appreciate that 5-piece nugget. Brother, look at how many kids go missing at NBA games every year. It's yeah, man. Yeah, the NBA is covered. Yeah, brother, we gonna get into that. We just scratching the surface. Appreciate that 5-piece nugget. Or we gonna get into that. Right now, I just want to show and I just want to scratch the surface with how black men are always the fall guy. How they always use our people as the scapegoat for a bigger picture, for the grand scheme of things. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Rajay, Chauncey Billups, all these dudes is just scapegoats for the real demonic activity that's going on behind closed doors. But you in the right place, because I'm the only one on YouTube that's talking about it. Everybody's talking about Chauncey Billups. Everybody's talking about Gilbert Arenas. Oh, we gonna get deep into this. I know it is what it is, and it'll be what it's gonna be. Let's get into this receipt. Look.
Tonight, NBA Hall of Famer and Portland Trailblazers head coach Chauncey Billups and Miami Heat star Terry Rozier have been placed on immediate leave by the NBA after their arrest today as part of a stunning gambling scandal.
This is the insider trading saga for the NBA.
Two schemes naming more than 30 people, according to charging papers, including 4 well-known mafia families in New York City.
Your winning streak has ended. Your luck has run out. Violating the law is...
Look at that dog fur right there. Look at that dog. That's another strand of dog fur right there.
Is a losing proposition, and you can bet on that.
The indictment involving Billups outlining a national illegal poker ring, wooing wealthy players known as fish into rigged games, stretching from the Hamptons to Las Vegas. Prosecutors say Billups and former NBA player Damon Jones were called face cards, using their fame to lure unwitting victims. But authorities say the NBA pros knew the games were a high-tech scam, rigged by the mob and cashed in.
They used custom shuffling machines that could read the order of cards, barcoded decks.
That's a nasty strand of dog fur right there. Absolutely nasty work right there. When you see that type of dog fur right there, let me tell you something. Let's talk about this. When you see a strand of dog fur like that, you already know it smell like Newport 100s and Sassoon shampoo. Yeah, either Marlboro Reds or Newport 100. That dog fur stank like all outside. And she got the nerve to bring that dog fur up on that panel talking about crime and talking about this when you should be addressing that Neanderthal dog. Why do that dog fur smell like a dog? Yeah. Up there looking like a goddamn golden retriever. Yeah. Yeah, you look like you had some golden retriever puppies and all of that. Absolutely disgusting. Look.
And hidden cameras built into tables and light fixtures.
Court documents showing one of those shufflers disassembled and this poker table taking x-rays to reveal cards face down.
Now, I want to start with that, right? You know, what does that sound like? Don't that sound like casinos? Ain't that the same thing casinos do? It's cool when they do it. It's a problem when I do it. Fuck them. So when the casinos is using these machines, when the casinos is robbing people out their money, the government is cool with it. It's all good. It was all good just a week ago when the casinos all over America, you got Nas about to put a casino right in the smack middle of Queens, New York, to rob poor people. It ain't nothing but a bunch of poor motherfuckers in Queens, New York, and they about to put a $5 billion casino right there. It's cool when the government is robbing you. But as soon as some black people start getting smart, we start setting up little makeshift casinos, we start putting our hands in the cookie jar, now all of a sudden, it's an issue. Now all of a sudden, we need to know about it, and y'all need to have press conferences with your dog fur out, talking to us like we care. See, I'm just speaking for the people. We don't care. We don't give a damn what they doing with their money. Absolutely disgusting work. You think these casinos ain't using those same machines? You think these casinos ain't got dealer machines? You think they can't see what's going on? You think the casinos ain't doing? So it's cool when y'all do it. It's a problem when we do it. It's a problem when we selling marijuana. We go into jail for 100 years. Soon as y'all want to sell marijuana, it's legal now. See, I'm gonna go deeper into this, but it ain't no reason on going back and forth. It's really supposed to be a war. We were supposed to be taking the federal government to war. And I'm gonna talk more about that. I'm gonna talk more about that in a few minutes. But let's just stay right here with these different strands of dog fur talking to us and trying to make us feel a way about Chauncey Billups and Rajay or Rondo, whatever his name is. We don't care. You know how long the Italian mafia been doing this? You know how long that dog fur been making billions and trillions of dollars off illegal gambling? So we don't care about that. Is what it is, and it'll be what it's gonna be. My advice to the federal government is mind your goddamn business. What them people is doing behind closed doors ain't none of your business. The same way the Epstein files obviously ain't none of our business. You think we care about gambling? We care more about what's on them Epstein files. Won't y'all figure that shit out? Yeah, I'ma speak for the people. I don't want to get up here, the NBA, blah, blah. Who cares? Mind your goddamn business. All right? Now, I'm going to play one more receipt because I got a couple of receipts. I want to point out, y'all ain't noticed how, let's get into this receipt. Big salute to the chat. Look.
And for him to come down should tell you the importance of this historic case. I'm Christopher Rea, the Assistant Director in charge of the FBI New York Field Office. Today, as you've heard, our office conducted a massive nationwide takedown from 2 indictments of 34 defendants for their alleged involvement in 2 separate illegal poker and sports betting schemes where, as you heard, the odds were rigged in their favor. Among these defendants are 13 members and associates of the Bonanno, Gambino, and Genovese crime families, to include capos and soldiers from these families. Additionally, as you heard, current and former NBA coaches and players are also implicated, to include Chauncey Billups, Damon Jones, and Terry Rozier.
Now I want to stop this bald-headed. I want to stop him right here, right? And I want to home in on this. And I want to make sure that I stay on cue and I stay on topic and I stay where I need to be, right in this pocket, right? He said the Gambino, the Bonanno, and some other mafia families. He said that included capos and soldiers. Now notice, they didn't name one person from any of these crime families. They didn't name one Italian mobster. They didn't put a name to one soldier, one capo, or one godfather. We don't know no names, no individuals when it come to these mob families. But when it come to black people, y'all, we always got to get the names and the pictures. We got pictures of Chauncey Billups. We got pictures of Rajo. We got pictures of Gilbert Arenas. But we don't know one name from these mobsters. And see, they do this right in front of y'all because they don't believe that y'all smart enough to ask the right questions. They don't believe that y'all are smart enough to pinpoint and connect the dots. So they get in front of us, they brush that nasty dog fur around, and they get to talking like we just some imbeciles or something. Oh, they're not gonna ask the right questions. They don't care. Who are the people in these crime families that you talking about? The same way you put Chauncey Billups' name out there is the same way you need to be putting the godfathers and the leaders of these mob families. Like, we didn't even, let me tell you something. A lot of people don't even know that the mob still exists. A lot of people believe that the mob died with Goodfellas. Yeah. A lot of people believe that the mob died with the Godfather trilogies. The mob is still making billions of dollars on American soil every year off of all different types of streams of revenue. They got all different type of illegal situations, and we don't hear nothing about the mob, the Gambino, the Bonanno family. Yeah, we hear about Young Thug and YSL. We heard about BMF. We hear about P. Diddy. But we ain't heard one name from these mobsters. That ain't no coincidence. Again, they think that we are so stupid that we not going to connect the dots. You think Chauncey Billups' name is more important than the godfather of the Bambino or the Gambino or the Bonanno? You think Rajal name is more important than one of these mobsters? You think we really want to see pictures of Chauncey Billups? No, we want to see the pictures of the Goodfellas. We want to know exactly who are the Goodfellas that have been running these so-called $1 million plays every year when it come to illegal gambling. See, y'all don't want us to know that, and I'm gonna talk about that because nobody seems to get on this YouTube and tell the truth. Everybody get on this YouTube and they water down the dope. They don't want to give it to you pure, straight off the brick, directly into the bottles. See, it's easy to defame a black man. It's easy to villainize a black man. It's easy to take a black man and plaster him all over your media outlets. Plaster a black man all over the newspapers. Chauncey Billups is an ant. He's a crumb on the table. But it ain't so easy to get those dog fur having people plastered all over the news. It ain't so easy to get the Bonanno family plastered all over social media. I'm just here to give my people what they asking for. Y'all in my DM asking me about this. Well, I don't care about the basketball. I don't care about that. The grand scheme of this. See, they can't talk about and they can't really put a name to these mobsters because these mobsters have leverage. See, the Italian mob ain't like YSL. The Italian mob ain't like the urban community. They have leverage. You get to put names and faces to these mobsters, and they'll get to talking about the senators and the governors and the White House officials that have been gambling behind closed doors. Whew! Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. See, these mobsters, they ain't like LeBron James. They ain't like Steph Curry. They ain't gonna bend, break, and fold for the government. These Italian mobsters that get to talking. You know how many White House officials bet on illegal gambling? You know how many senators, governors, politicians put their money in the pot in illegal gambling? So now they got y'all looking at Chauncey Billups and they got y'all looking at Gilbert Arenas. Because they know y'all ain't gonna scratch the surface. Y'all ain't gonna look past the smoke and mirrors. Y'all not gonna ask no questions and connect the dots as long as there's a black man right in front of you that you could point the finger at. Listen, as long as they give you a bad guy with a black face to point the finger at, you ain't gonna ask no questions. Well, Grown Man Business TV, that's why the platform is growing organically. That's why my voice is so powerful. That's why I'm a threat to the establishment. Because one thing for sure and two things for certain, they already know I'm pointing the finger at the higher-ups and the elites. You said something about the Gambino family. Well, we need some names and we need some pictures. You said something about the Bonanno family. Well, guess what? We need some names and we need some pictures. We're not going to crucify Chauncey Billups and Rajal. We're not going to crucify, Gilbert Arenas. And we're going to talk about Gilbert. Gilbert is a fall guy. It's about to get deeper than you ever thought. We ain't even scratching the surface. We ain't even scratching the surface, my G. Everybody, every content creator need to be asking the question on their platform, who is these mobsters y'all talking about? We don't care. We want to see pictures and we want names. The same way y'all doing with Chauncey Billups and Gilbert Arenas. And until then, we don't give a fuck. We don't care. Until y'all expose these Italian mobsters, we don't care. Because you got to know something, right? Chauncey Billups, Gilbert Arenas, they just faces, my G. They just puppets working for higher-ups and the elites. They just luring people in to gamble. The big fish is those Bonanos and those Gambinos and those Italian mobs. That's the big fish. Now, I got a lot of people in my DM asking this particular question, and I want to address it right here, right now. GMB TV, you heard about Gilbert Arenas? You think Gilbert Arenas is a rat? Didn't Gilbert Arenas say he was going to tell? Let's connect the dots. Y'all thought that was a coincidence that Gilbert Arenas made bond, came home and said he was going to turn rat. He was going to tell. Y'all thought that was by coincidence? Nah, that ain't by coincidence. Before Gilbert Arenas made bond, he was in that interrogation room with them dog fur having people. Yeah, that dog fur surrounded him. They said, when you get out there, this what you gonna do, this what you gonna say. Why do they need Gilbert Arenas to say that he was gonna tell? Why did they need Gilbert Arenas to make a public statement claiming to be a rat? Why? Oh, we gonna get into that. Appreciate that 5-piece nugget, my G. Highly appreciate that. Yeah, I'm feeling like Haas Campbell. Appreciate you for supporting this war. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Who is the rat? Those Italian mobsters is the rats. Woo! You ain't heard nobody say this on YouTube, have you? You ain't heard nobody connect the dots. Gilbert Arenas is not the rat. Those Italian mobsters, those are the rats. Let me give you some game about the Italian mob, right? Telling on black people, you're not considered a rat. If you snitch on niggas, you're not considered a rat. If you give up information on black people, you're not considered a rat in the Italian mob. And see, we got to really get into this because a lot of these YouTubers, a lot of these hooligans, oh, you a rat, he's a rat. But they play by a whole different game of cards. They play by a whole different book of rules. The Italian mob is the rat in this situation. Who gave up the information? Who told about this situation? Members of the Italian mob. See how easy that was? See how easy it is for me to get on this platform and get y'all pure dope straight off the brick into the bottles? While everybody else up here is lying, trying to sugarcoat the truth, adding a whole bunch of baking soda and quinine to the content. That's another reason why they're not going to give up no names of these Italian mobsters, these Italian mob bosses, these capos and these soldiers. They're not going to give up no names because the majority of these Italian mob bosses, the majority of these Italian mobsters are rats. But they're ratting on black people. They're giving up the black people with their hand in the pot. Gilbert Arenas is not a rat. For everybody in my DM asking, Gilbert Arenas didn't tell on nobody. Gilbert Arenas is a fall guy. Let's go a little bit deeper. Let me help you understand what I'm saying to you. Let me give you some context. Y'all remember the movie American Gangster? Y'all remember the movie American Gangster? Frank Lucas? He's considered a rat, right? But in that movie, if y'all remember correctly, the Italian mob was working with the police. The Italian mob said, who's selling blue magic? And they had inside police workers to do the police work and find out that it was Frank Lucas. And when they figured out that it was a black man selling blue magic, they ratted on him. That's how he got locked up. That's how he went to jail. They ratted. The Italian mob ratted on Frank Lucas. And in the Italian mob, you don't get whacked for telling on black people. You don't get labeled a snitch for giving up information on Frank Lucas. So what's about to happen? The Italian mob is talking. They're giving up information. And it's going to be a lot of black athletes that's about to go down. Oh, yeah, it's about to go down, my G. Chauncey Billups and Rajay or Rondo, whatever his name is, that's just scratching the surface. And it get deeper than that. We're going to go a little bit deeper. I know when y'all come over here, y'all like for me to elaborate. The Italian mob is the rat. That's why they ain't naming none of the names right now. Because if they get to naming the names of these Italian mobsters, they expose confidential informant. Woo! Hey, listen, ain't that what y'all talking about right now on YouTube? Ain't that the big discussion? What a confidential informant is? That's why they ain't telling you about these mobsters. That's why they ain't relinquishing no names right now, because they got a bunch of confidential informants. Now, G&B TV, why would they go to this extent to knock down Chauncey Billups and Rajo? And what's really going on with this? I mean, why would they do that? Well, here's where it gets deeper. You got to understand something, right? It's a lot of celebrities that are due a humiliation ritual. Listen to me. It's a lot of athletes. It's a lot of celebrities that are due a humiliation ritual. And you got to know something. Back in the day, all they had to do was send some of that dog fur their way, and these dudes will bend, break, and fold, and they'll end up in a scandal. They'll end up right in a humiliation ritual. But let me tell you something. That dog work ain't working like it used to. That dog fur ain't dog furring like it used to. These black athletes and these black celebrities, they ain't just falling for the dog fur like they used to. Yeah. Back in the day, you could send a white woman over there with those athletes, and that white woman to get those athletes to get the goddamn doing what they do. And now it's a rape charge like Kobe Bryant and all that. Now you in a situation where they got you by the nuts because you done laid down with that dog fur. Well, things are changing. That dog fur ain't dog furring the way it used to dog fur. Black athletes ain't bending, breaking, and folding for the little lily white girl no more. Black athletes are looking at the lily white girl and they saying, get that white girl out of here. We don't want nothing to get her ass out of here. So how else can we get these dudes in a compromising position? Illegal gambling. Guess what? If they ain't fucking with the dog fur, if they ain't laying down with that blonde dog fur, they somewhere gambling. Michael Jordan, LeBron James, every black athlete got his money in the pot somewhere gambling. Okay, well, we gonna go about it another way. And here we are, where we got the fucking feds doing press conferences about illegal gambling that been going on since the beginning of sports. Nobody's gonna keep it G, because all of them wanna they putting a bunch of baking soda all over the goddamn content, watering this shit down. I'm only gonna give it to you raw, my G. The sex scandals ain't working like it used to work. The dog fur ain't dog furring like it used to do. Here we are. Present day, a new way To walk your ass right into a humility. LeBron James probably about to fall. A lot of other athletes are about to fall. And if LeBron James get out of this, it's because he signed off on that. Little bit of this, little bit of that. You could get with this, or you could get with that, or you could get with this, because this is kind of fat. Where's the black sheep? Here's the black sheep. It is what it is, my G. And understand something. I'm not here to save a celebrity. All of them work for the higher-ups and the elites. All of these dudes are puppets. All of these dudes. I don't have no sympathy for a celebrity or an athlete. When the higher-ups and the elites come, it is what it is, my G. You gonna get down or you gonna lay down. And if you lay down, you gonna stay down. What I'm trying to tell y'all is, look at how they run a Hail Mary play. Look at how they put this shit right in front of you and don't expect you to be smart enough to see through the smoke and mirrors. Hey, let's go a little bit deeper with this, right? The Italian mob. I mean, when the last time we heard about the fucking mob? When the last time when the last time you heard about the mob? The mob makes billions of dollars a year, low key. The government is involved, the feds, the CIA, the governor, everybody's in bed with these motherfuckers, man. The only reason this is taking place is because you athletes are due a humiliation ritual. And we about to get exactly what, it's about to be a movie. It's about to be a movie. It's about to be a movie. And any athlete that gets out of this probably was eating, he probably was eating Franks. They got him at that mansion party like Lil Baby with 4 pockets full and all that. We all know what 4PF stand for. 4 pockets full of, You either gonna get with this or you gonna get with that. Oh yeah, man, listen, man, like I said, I just got back to the big house. I'm exhausted, my G. You understand? But the download's downloaded, and what I needed to do is I needed to bring this to the light. Now, we going live. I'm going to take a nap. I'm an old man, my G. I just look like this. But once I take a nap and I recharge, we coming back. This going to be a clean hour of power. Gilbert Arenas is no rat. The Italian mob lined y'all asses up. Got y'all in bed with this illegal gambling. Got y'all nice and ready. They got y'all in the figure 4. They got videotape. They got motherfucking audio. They got content. You are now content. And the beautiful thing about it is, what you got to understand is, we have become desensitized. These rappers, that shit ain't strong enough. These rappers being sacrificed, these rappers being humiliated, we are absolutely used to seeing these rappers been breaking fold. But we ain't really been seeing you athletes in this manner. And when the rest come out, it's going to get even uglier. It's going to get even uglier. But I want to close with this, right? The federal government, they worse than the mob, my G. The CIA, they worse than the mob. These are the biggest gangs on American soil, and they might be the biggest gangs in the world. The CIA and the federal government. And they get up on these platforms and talk to us like they trying to save us, like they trying to help us. All this federal money being snatched away. Everything that's taking place on American soil. And you come to us with illegal gambling. And I mean, people are eating it up, my G. I mean, content creators are eating it up. But the revolution got to be televised. It's deeper than, who's next and blah, blah, blah. We need to really get into this. We need to really scratch the surface with this. It is absolutely disgusting work. With everything going on American soil, y'all come to us. Y'all come to us with sports gambling. It's a war going on outside. No man is safe from. No man is safe from. You know, what's the grand scheme of this? What are they trying to distract us from? What is really happening? Well, they still talking about that mothership coming this way. Federal dollars. Yo, we gonna talk tonight. We gonna have a real deep talk about food stamps. The federal government stripping the American people of the bare necessities. We gonna talk about this. And you gotta understand something, right? I never qualified for food stamps. I don't know. I'm not Zippy. I'm not none of these dudes. I never been in a position where I qualified for food stamps. But my angle on food stamps is probably gonna surprise you. I connect the dots. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you, and it's disgusting work, my G. This shit getting real. Every day it's getting realer. Let's let this man talk just a little bit more. Big salute to the chat. I'm gonna let my man talk. I got a little bit long-winded because 911 is a joke. Public Enemy said this shit 30 years ago. The federales, the American government, the CIA, this shit is a joke, my G. We should probably be taking their asses to war. Big salute to the chat, man. Look.
Three of the named defendants are charged for their alleged roles in both schemes. This alleged illegal gambling operation hustled unwitting victims out of tens of millions of dollars and created a financial pipeline for La Cosa Nostra to help fund and facilitate their organized criminal activity. Victims were attracted to play alongside well-known professional athletes and coaches like Chauncey Billups, only to be unknowingly deceived through rigged shuffling machines, fixing the odds in their favor, as alleged and as you just heard from the U.S. Attorney's Office. This alleged scheme wreaked havoc across the nation, exploiting the notoriety of some and the wallets of many to fund the Italian crime families here in New York. Let me be clear about this fact. The FBI has not and will never take their eye off the ball when it comes to Italian organized crime in this city, specifically the LCN and the 5 families here in New York. We are not going to permit any criminal enterprise, whether it be Italian organized crime, Asian organized crime, Eurasian organized crime. We're not going to permit any of those organized crimes, families, and organizations to operate in our city or our country.
Now I wanna kind of point something out to you. Always notice how much respect they show to these crime families. They titled these guys crime families, right? Organized crime. But you notice that they left out black organized crime. Oh, Italian organized crime, Asian organized crime, Jewish organized crime. We will not tolerate, but they never involve black because they call our situation gangs. They don't believe that we are even smart enough to have something ran and moved under the title of organized crime. We will not go for organized crime in the New York City. Come on, man. You understand what I'm saying? It's always an underlying disrespect from these people. And this is where I want to go with this last angle, right? What's going on is disgusting work. Not only from what they presenting to us, but from an angle that most people can't see, right? When we started coming into money, athletes, celebrities, whatever, however you came into your money, if you was partying with Diddy, whatever you was doing, these Neanderthals were always worried that some way, somehow we would unite as a people, and the guys with the money would liberate the urban community. That's why they always go so hard to have these guys in a bind, have them in a humiliation ritual. They always try to tarnish their name. They always try to, it's always a play being ran. And our black people that have, have obtained large sums of money, they never reach out. They never do what you see the Italians doing, or the Asians, or the Jew. You never see them, even if it's criminality. You never see them organize amongst each other. Even if we doing some criminal shit. All right, this illegal gambling. We gonna have a organized crime syndicate that we run this through. They never do it because that's what they fear. But we are at a point now where they are simply laughing at the urban community, at the fact that we have all these rich niggas and they all got that pussy. We got all of these black men with all this money, and they not even man enough to organize even the crime, even the underbelly of the environment, the underbelly. Every culture started with crime. Every culture, every race started with a crime element. The Asian mafia, the Chinese mafia, the Italian mafia, organized crime. Organized. So all these niggas with all this money, even if it's illegal, they didn't say, we ain't even mentally, we understand what we should be doing, but these dudes is so pussy that they not even man enough to say, you know what, this shit is illegal. We about to have a council meeting. Y'all are head of the councils. Y'all all got a percentage of this. This what we gonna do. This how we gonna do it at the round table. I know this not gonna happen, but my word is to the puppets, because you could be a puppet until you cut the strings. You could cut the strings and now you not be in control. You still a puppet, but you a rebel. You a runaway slave. You no longer have strings attached. And with all this money, imagine if a LeBron James linked up with a Jay Prince, linked up with a blah blah blase blah. $400 million a piece. They all putting in, and now that's what they really fear. They fear the day that the seed planted by a Tupac Shakur blossoms in the mind of a nigga with $500, $800, $900 million. They fear that. That's what they fear. And it's disgusting work at the fact that we ain't came to that yet. I'm talking, listen, man, everybody ain't meant to go to college. Everybody ain't meant to be a doctor or be the president or be a brain surgeon. Everybody ain't meant for that. Some people are meant to be warriors, gangsters, organized crime. So until we get that understood, until we understand and we accept the fact that all races on American soil started, white, Jew, whatever, Asian, China, whatever, all races on American soil started with a criminal underbelly, gangs, mafia shit, crews, and that all blossoms into organized crime. If we had organized crime, we'd had organized shooting. If we had organized crime, then guess what? Now we could organize the bullets and which way they go. And now we could organize the sliding. We could organize the violence. We could organize the money. How you think they built up Little Italy in New York City? You think they did that shit working hard? Doing construction? Nah. How you think they built up Chinatown out there in New York City? You think they did that by working hard, working on construction? Nah. Fred, listen, close your mouth and open your ears. When I say how you think they built up Little Italy, I'm talking about Italians. Those are the people that live in Little Italy. When I say they, how did they build up Chinatown? I'm talking about the Chinaman. You ever been to Chinatown? You ever been on Canal Street? It's all Chinaman and Vietnamese motherfuckers all up and down that joint. How you think they built that up? Selling fake Jordans? Selling them queen niggas that fake ass jewelry? You think they built up Chinatown selling y'all that fake ass truck jewelry y'all be wearing? Shit sound like cans on a string. let me stay on cue with this. I want to stay focused. But y'all be having them big ass chains on. Shit sound like cans on a string and all that. They didn't build up Chinatown. They didn't make enough money to build up Chinatown selling y'all that fake ass truck jewelry. Y'all all on the internet bouncing your tin can chains and shit all on your damn chest and all that. They built that shit off of underground criminal enterprise. The Asian mob, the Chinese mob. Who you think China Mac Daddy was? Yeah, them niggas was in Chinese gangs out there in Manhattan and all that. Selling pussy. You go out there to Chinatown, you go in one of those parlors, nigga, it's pussy being sold down there. Lady boys and all that. Yeah, they got lady boys and all that. All up in them parlors. You go to get your nails done, they got lady boys and all that for your judges and your doctors and that dog fur that get into that. They make millions and billions of dollars off this shit. Hundreds of millions of dollars a year. Off a criminal underbelly. We the only ones out here just running amok, being used as scapegoats and fall guys. $1 million niggas, $1 million Hall of Fame basketball players being used as scapegoats and fall guys. Cause y'all ain't figured out that it takes organized crime. Organized crime, my G. That means you got to get in bed with the feds. That means you got to get in bed with the CIA. That means you got to get in bed with the government, the police department. You got to get in bed with them. You see what Jay-Z's doing. You think Desiree Perez is a coincidence? No, nigga. When you reach a certain level with these billions and these hundreds of millions, it's called organized crime. That means you need an informant next to you. You need a confidential informant somewhere around. Yeah. That's what you niggas don't understand. That's why you niggas is arguing about Bimmy. They laughing at us. They laughing at us that our most prominent black men come home from prison and start fucking podcasts like Preem and all, Prince and all that. That's a whole nother live stream. Powerful man like Prince come home and start a podcast to talk to us on fucking YouTube. When he's supposed to be starting to he's supposed to be in bed with them people. Organized crime. He's supposed to have Queens, New York. If a nickel bag is sold in the park, I want in. And he's supposed to have, but no, he talking to us on YouTube and all that. They don't respect. That's why, and I know it's hard to take, but you don't get to be a Supreme Team member, a prominent drug kingpin, and then come home and be a goddamn YouTuber telling us the difference between a rat, a snitch, and a confidential informant. The higher ups and the elites are laughing. They can't believe this shit. Niggas got all this goddamn money. Look what they doing with it. They ain't even organized. They crimes, they just got... Yeah. Hey, look, listen. I didn't say that. I said organize the crime, my G. When you organize the crime, you organize the violence. Why you think we don't know that the mob still exists? See, I knew, Big Bang, A&G, I knew this was gonna go over your head and under your bridge respectfully. This ain't for everybody. Why you think we don't know how many dudes you know how many dudes you think was in the mob, went to jail and came home and we don't know? It's billions of dollars being made. It's a criminal organization. It's not no gang. This ain't YSL. That's why y'all niggas that's why we ended up how we ended up. Now, all I'm telling you is when you look at Jay-Z, now you understand why Desiree Perez is so valuable, why she is in the mix, why she ain't going nowhere, because Jay-Z can't be Jay-Z without that type of protection. You don't go to the next level without that type of protection. Hey, it is what it is and it'll be what it's gonna be, man. Al Sharpner, yeah, he's a confidential informant. He's a confidential informant. Imagine if somebody had pulled Al Sharpner close. Protection. Most of these dudes I'm talking about don't need that type of protection. Y'all ain't on Jay-Z level. But I'm talking, who you think, let me tell you something. You think LeBron James ain't somewhere in a meeting doing business with somebody that is a confidential informant? You think LeBron James ain't got no scandals? He ain't got no smut. LeBron James is LeBron James. You think you think he ain't working with them people? LeBron James in bed with them people, especially if he duck this. If he get around this, that's 100% certification. 100%, my G. No way around it. It is what it is, and it'll be what it's gonna be. Now, I want to say this, man. We going live tonight. It's been a couple of days. I've been over the road, handling grown man business. I'm back at the big house. So you got to understand something. This live stream right here was just a little bit, I'm knocking the rust off. It was a little bit Yosemite Sam and all that, just two guns blazing. We doubling back tonight, and we going to talk about food stamps. And I want y'all to really open your mind to this. It don't matter if you open your mind or not. I'm going to give it to you pure. You ain't got no choice. As long as you in the building, it's going to be a can opener. We going to open that shit up. This is nasty work. And it's deeper than people just wanting to live. It's way deeper. And we going to talk about that. We going to talk about the image, the narrative. Everybody talking about black people. All we see on YouTube is black people talking about food stamps, talking about this, and it's way deeper than that. Oh, we gonna talk. We gonna talk. Big salute to the chat. Clean hour of power. You already know, man. It's your boy, Grown Man Business TV. You feel what I'm saying? You can tap in, you can tap out, but you know my slogan. You absolutely know what I suggest. And I suggest you tap in, man. I suggest you tap into this grown man business. I suggest you tap into this grown man content at all times. It is what it is. It'll be what it's going to be. Straight off the brick, directly into the bottles. Straight off the brick, directly into the bottles. Straight raw, pure, uncut, no extras, no preservatives. We not sugarcoat nothing. We not dressing nothing up. I'm only here to give you this game straight raw, my G. Pure dope. Straight off the brick into the bottles. It's always going to be a black man as the fall guy. You could be worth $1 million. You could be worth $100 million. You still nigga. Like Jay-Z said, you still nigga until the crime is organized. And Bumpy Johnson, he had an organized situation. That's why he was doing business with the people. That's why he was moving the way he was moving. That's why he had control over Harlem. That's the only reason why. It was organized crime. So as long as y'all niggas just getting money, $100 million, you the man. When the humiliation ritual comes, it's your turn. Who's the rat? It's not Gilbert Arenas. Gilbert Arenas ain't telling nobody. For right now, he ain't telling nobody. Even if he ends up being a rat, I guarantee you, the first person to bring this to the light of the federales was those mob families. The mob families. Those capos and those soldiers. Yeah, you going to jail for 20 years. You got something for us? Listen, man, I got something for you. But, you know, I'm more, I can only give up niggas. I can only give up black guys. You know, Rajal and Gilbert Arenas and, you know, Chauncey Billups, we got a thing going. But you got to get them. Don't, soon, you know, you get the fuck around with these crime families, you got a problem. So those guys, go get them. I got something for you. Millions of dollars a week. We doing millions of dollars a month. These dudes is doing, and here we go. It ain't Gilbert, my G. It's the mob families that's ratting on niggas because they don't get no chinks in their armor for ratting on black people, for giving up information on black people. Last but not least, right? Last but not least, everybody got the title of organized crime, and black people, we don't even get mentioned in that. We get called gangs. The RICO go both ways. It could go for a crime family, it could go for a gang. The RICO don't discriminate. But what I'm telling you is they don't even look at us on that level. They already, just like with this, oh, just tell them that blah, blah, blah. They'll believe it. Just, they're not going to ask any questions. Don't worry. We doubling back tonight, man. Make sure y'all in the chat. Make sure y'all hit the subscribe button before you leave the building. Make sure y'all hit the like button. Make sure your notification bells are ringing, because when I hit that live button tonight, it's gonna get deep. It's gonna be epic. All right. So you already know what time it is, man. It's your boy Grown Man Business TV. You feel what I'm saying? You can tap in. You can tap out. I'm exhausted. I don't know if y'all can see. I'm tired as hell. I gotta take a nap, man. I'm an old man. I gotta take a nap. I could barely keep my eyes open, man. You feel me? But I just got y'all in here. And I just needed to drop that. Even before I told myself, I said, yo, I'm gonna lay down. You know, nah, we needed to talk about this. Where's the pictures of those Gambinos and those Bananas and those crime mobsters? Y'all ain't even said a name. Y'all shouldn't have said nobody name unless y'all was, you know how many mob people they got that they could have named out, oh, such blah, blah, blah. They could have just started naming names. Only names we got is niggas' names right now. Chauncey Billups and Raj. We don't know not one name. We don't see one picture of not one Italian mob member. Y'all could have had 30 pictures of these mob niggas. We got to stop letting them do this. Right or wrong, we got to start standing on business. And the problem is all the rich suckers, all these sucker niggas got the money. They made sure of that. When they saw Tupac start getting that money and Tupac got smoked, they seen it as an opportunity. We will never let that happen again. Not no real nigga like that. He can't. Nah, we almost lost one. All the niggas with the money got that pussy, or they got chinks in their armor. All of them. All of these podcasts, man, we can start going down the list of these niggas. They all got something going on that's nasty work. We gonna double back tonight, man. Hit the like button, subscribe. Make sure you got your notification bells ringing, so when I hit that live button, you could be directly in the building. Y'all go in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think about this. Yeah. When I get off this live stream, make sure y'all take some seconds, take a minute, take your time, go into the comment section and tell me what you think about this. And I'm definitely gonna respond. It's time for a humiliation ritual. I believe Bron about to fall. I'm gonna just leave y'all with that. Bron is old. His time is up. His influence is shot. It's time to pay up, homie. It's time to pay those dues. Not only LeBron, but he's the big fish. So I'm going to just stick with him. Bron is the big fish. Nasty work. Is what it is. It'll be what it's going to be. So you already know, man, it's your boy, Grown Man Business TV. You feel what I'm saying? You can tap in, you can tap out. But you know my slogan, you know what I suggest? And I suggest